If you are an English speaker, you probably would use español to refer to the languages spoken through over 400 million people in America, Africa, and Europe. But sorry, this is not that simple. On my video about Argentinian Spanish, there were many comments written by people from Argentina saying that I shouldn't use the word español because we speak castellano. I also received some comments saying exactly the opposite. What did I say? So I launched a poll. I asked my viewers to vote. What do you think is the best way to refer to the language spoken in Argentina? And with over 2,700 votes, the winner is castellano. But it only got 45% of the votes. Español has 17%, and with 32%, both are correct. In addition, there were over 100 comments on the poll saying different things. So obviously, there's no consensus about this topic. Consensus. Let's try to understand the debate. Firstly, in Spain, there are many languages. Catalan, Gallego, Euskera, so if they are languages from Spain, they are Spanish languages too, or not? According to this idea, el castellano is just one of many languages from Spain and the one spoken in Latin America. But wait, what's the contradiction here? In China, people speak Chino, Cantonés o Chino, Mandarín, y son idiomas bastante diferentes, pero siguen siendo chino, and we don't feel the need of correcting someone. You don't speak Chinese, you speak Mandarin, do we? So there's something else, something that people from Spain sometimes fail to explain when talking about this topic. But it's really important in order to understand why some people react in that way when we say español in Latin America. And it's the fact that in Latin America, after the independence wars, our peoples who had fought for their freedom against the Spanish Empire often avoided using terms that recall, in some way, the times of the colony. Language was a way of rebelling against Spanish authority. This may also answer the question why Mexico is written with X instead of J. No señor, español las bolas, acá hablamos castellano, castellano. No va a decir el rey de España como tenemos que hablar, anda. But wait. Isn't it the same saying that we speak castellano? No somos parte de España, pero tampoco del reino de Castilla, ¿no? ¿Del qué? I promise I'll be brief and simple with this historical part. Centuries ago, there was a kingdom called Castilla. It was based on part of the territory that today belongs to Spain. But Spain didn't really exist then, at least as the country we know today. That kingdom grew and spread their language through Spain. That didn't exist yet. You understand me, don't you? That language was Castellano, and it was quite different from any current language. But it was based on Latin, and it evolved to become the modern Spanish, the one that we speak today. So from the Latin American point of view, Castellano shouldn't be better than Español, don't you think? And maybe even worse. I'll tell you why. In 1492, Antonio de Nebrija published an extremely important book in the history of this language. That book was La Gramática de la Lengua Castellana. He wrote on a letter to the Queen. Después de que Su Alteza haya sometido a bárbaros pueblos y naciones de diversas lenguas, con la conquista vendrá la necesidad de aceptar las leyes que el conquistador impone a los conquistados, y entre ellos nuestro idioma. Con esta obra mía serán capaces de aprenderlo. Ponele que Nebrija hablaba así, ¿no? 3 months after the publication of this book, the Spanish ships arrived to America. So was that book conceived as a weapon to conquer through the Castilian language? And of course was after that Native American languages began to influence the evolution of Spanish. Modern Spanish wouldn't be the same without words like huracán, hamaca, cancha, puma, chocolate, tomate, and many other words we use daily and came from Native American languages. So is using the old term castellano a way to deny or ignore the huge contribution that Native American peoples have done to our language? ¿Qué sé yo? ¿Qué hacemos entonces? Okay, let's check what the highest authority on Spanish language has to say about this topic. Of course, I'm talking about la Real Academia Española de la Lengua. Come on, just, The controversy over which of these denominations is more appropriate is now overcome. I don't agree with this part. But after that, it says that both are right. Anyway, they prefer Español because of its lack of ambiguity, being similar to the name given in other languages. And their advice is saving the term castellano to talk about the different languages inside Spain, the old Castilian dialect or the Spanish variety spoken nowadays on those territories. La Real Academia Española me chupa los dos huevos. Well, maybe you don't care what they say because after all they are from Spain. Let's see what happens with la Academia Argentina de Letras. En el uso general, las denominaciones castellano y español son equivalentes. No obstante, es preferible, en razón de una más adecuada precisión terminológica, reservar el tradicional nombre de castellano para referirse al dialecto de Castilla anterior a la unificación y llamar español, como internacionalmente se hace, a la lengua que desde entonces lleva en sí, junto al viejo tronco, los múltiples aportes que otros pueblos de España y de América han dado al castellano. Almost the same. The only thing that is clear is that there's not a right and a wrong term. You can find any of them in a dictionary and they are often used as synonyms by native speakers. Of course, you can prefer one of them for any reason and you are free to use it. By the way, I'd love to read your opinions in the comments, but stop correcting other people for using one or the other. Personally, I use them both. And in the context of teaching Spanish as a second language, I use español more often. Ahora te dejo la chapa. No te olvides de suscribirte, tocar la campanita, dar like y dejarme un comentario. Chao. ¿Quién? ¿Antonio de Nebrija? Antonio de Nebrija, ¿sabe qué?